This is all just speculation, don't come at me about how this isn't accurate or it wouldn't look like this or whatever. We're just having fun here. So in Helluva Boss Season 2 Episode 4 we saw the sloth ring for the first time, and it got me thinking. Then once the lost episode from Season 1 came out, Beelzebub mentions Belphagor, and it made me do more thinking on what I'd think the Prince of Sloth would look like. I definitely went overboard on this lol. So is the Prince of Sloth. I imagine Belphagor having two forms. One is her true form, which appears a lot like Baphomet depictions, and due to her being the embodiment of sloth, is almost always asleep. I know there's debate about who rules sloth since the native demons look like Baphomet. At first I pictured there being two rulers of sloth, Belphagor and Baphomet, with Belphagor being the embodiment of sloth. She'd be too lazy to govern, which would leave Baphomet to be the shadow ruler. But now I think Vivziepop and co made the goat demons of sloth Baphomet-like. And probably by extension Belphagor, because Belphagor doesn't have a lot of depictions or descriptions outside of having goat-like ears, and Baphomet is a cool design to repurpose. The second form is an astro-projected form, and the form most people see in public. Since this form uses far less energy, this is the form she uses when governing and surveilling sloth. But technically, this form is a lot less powerful. I also put her in a Victorian-like sleep gown. Like the native goat demons, she has a floating candle, which always remains vertical no matter what position she's in. Her projected form forms from the candle's flame. In the Season 2 Episode 4 episode, we see Sloth's colors being pink and purple, with a lot of eye motifs. I like to imagine that every eye scene in Sloth is a way that Belphagor governs Sloth. Each eye is a means she can see others, that way she can be all over Sloth without ever moving. I also like to think she can see people's dreams too when they're under her miasma. I've put eyes all over her body, with exaggerated lashes like in the episode. I also like that they look like bugs. I feel like it invokes the idea that you can be so idle that bugs start to crawl on you and you're too lazy to do anything about it. I picture Belphagor having two main powers, using her many eyes as a means of surveilling sloth through any eye that appears, and the means of creating her own smoky miasma that induces idleness and relaxation like old opium dens. I also like to think of her as like a tavern hostess. Sloth seems to be the place where most vacations happen, so I like to picture her as like the hostess at a fancy hotel, encouraging guests to relax. But if you know anything about the hospitality industry, it takes a lot of work and energy to maintain. So she feeds off of the energy others would usually have if they weren't relaxing to maintain the ring. And the medical and drug industries are a bonus means of getting revenue and energy to feed off of. And there you have it, my idea of what Belphagor may look like. I hope you like her design. I hope we see more of the Princes of Hell soon.